be online right now.
Yes, we are. It says live.
Woo!
Oh, we're live.
Podcast is
Oh.
live. Yeah, we are in fact live streaming to YouTube. So if everyone can see us in the comment section, just react. Because I'm monitoring and I can't see anything yet.
Yeah, we're all monitoring a whole bunch of stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
And monitors everywhere.
Yep. So as soon as for anyone in the comment section, as soon as we show up, just say something.
How long does it take before it shows up? It's live on.
Yeah, there we are online, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're online right now. So yeah, hi, welcome. Welcome.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome to our 2013 recap episode. We are live. We are taking live questions. So throughout the episode, if you want to ask us questions about anything that we're talking about, please feel free to do so. We are monitoring both Twitch and YouTube comments.
And Twitter.
And Twitter.
And Facebook.
And
yeah,
Facebook.
well,
everything.
I have 3 monitors here. I'm on the line.
You have like an entire operations center going on.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Matrix.
Or Minority Report a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Except the awesome controllers, touch screens.
Yeah. You should buy a Leap Motion, so sort of like that.
Yeah, it's halfway there.
Yeah.
So for this episode, I hope you don't mind me taking this, Mattias.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so for this episode, we're not going to be following a script or a bunch of topics, but instead we're going to be talking more loosely about what's been impacting us the most this year. The most awesome news, most awesome games, stuff like that. And as Mattias said before, you are more than welcome to ask questions or suggestions for topics and stuff like that, and we're going to try and please you.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, that was well put, Victor. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, 2013, pretty exciting year.
Yes. New generation of consoles.
Yeah, not only a new generation of big consoles, we've also seen like an explosion in the quote-unquote indie console market, in the sense that it's not really the big consoles, but also like the smaller consoles, handhelds. We've seen the Ouya really come up. We've seen the NVIDIA Shield project. We have seen so many things this year, but probably the most exciting on the console front is PS4 and Xbone. Not really the Wii U.
Well, depends on who you ask.
Well,
I'm much more interested in a Wii U than an Xbone or PS4, to be honest. I mean, I got a 3DS earlier this year, and I'm noticing how freaking good games Nintendo make.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have so much more games than both Xbone and PS4 combined.
Well, at the moment.
And it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
Yep.
Also the thing. I mean, I think the thing is with Nintendo hardware, the thing is that you have a lot of optimization. So they have highly optimized hardware. They have highly optimized software for their devices, and everything works pretty well. I've played on an old Wii recently, and it still works perfectly. So
yep.
So as far as that goes, I mean, they just make fun games. Definitely there.
Very high quality as well.
Yeah. For what it is, it's very high quality indeed.
Yeah. I think I've spent more time with Animal Crossing New Leaf than I spent with I don't know. I've played it so much, and it's like it's not even a game per se. It's like you walk around and you pick up weed and stuff from the ground. But I'm having so much fun with it just because it's so well made. It's really well made. Like I haven't encountered any bugs at all in any of the games I bought.
So I got disconnected, but what are you guys talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about the PS4 and Xbone, and Mattias said the Wii U isn't very interesting, and I said, well, that depends on who you ask, and I said that I'm a lot more interested in Wii U than the PS4 and Xbone because it has more games, good games, than the both other two consoles combined.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, the thing is, I think what we are going to remember most about 2013 is just about how much happened, maybe.
Yep.
Because there's like in 1 year time we've seen how many Kickstarter projects completely explode, how many indie games going for a budget that is worthy of AAA mentioning. We've seen everything just completely explode in 2013, and that was pretty exciting to see. Like E3 was one of the most exciting E3s in years, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Was it like super exciting? I'm just trying to remember like what happened.
Yeah, same here.
Well, a lot of the things had a lot to do with like the new generation of games, so everyone was really excited because at the time the consoles were, I think they were still before their big reveals, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, this E3 was after.
Was it after the Xbox reveal?
Xbox revealed. Wait, how was it?
No,
I can't remember.
It's Sony. Sony revealed they had
Yeah,
that
Sony,
the conference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sony
except they
revealed
didn't show their
very early.
console until E3.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they showed games and they showed a whole bunch of specs and stuff, but no console.
Yes. So the big thing at E3 was this is going to be our new generation of games. This is going to be our new generation of hardware. Everyone is going to be able to do this stuff with it, and everyone should be excited about this. One thing that I did notice is that everyone seemed to be on the manufacturer side. Everyone was like, "Oh, social media and stuff." But everyone in the consumer side was like, leave that stuff out, please, for the love of God.
Yeah. That was. I mean, I guess it's kind of nice too, like just to have like the streaming and everything. But at the same time, we've already seen it kind of go to shit as well. With sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But we've already seen it like go in a really weird direction where like you have Twitch streaming of just inappropriate content, like, and they had to like kind of. I think they had to change some of the rules with Twitch and with PS3 or PS4 and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure. Like that's probably going to be like growing pains throughout the years coming, but like it was really big to have that service introduced with PS4 and Xbox One. It streams as well, right? It does like the video recording and you can.
It has like the short recording and then you can just upload it. So,
and we're getting the same thing on PC as well with the NVIDIA Shadowplay, I think it's called.
Yes.
NVIDIA Shadowplay.
Like,
I don't know if I've heard that.
I think all computers who has a video card of like above a certain number can stream anything to, I think it's Twitch.
Yeah, that's true. I think you need about 1 gig maybe, about 1 gig of GPU, but like nowadays that's not that much anymore.
No, I mean I have a 3-year-old card or something, and it's still over. I think it's 2 gigs.
Yeah, I have 4-year-old card, and it's a 1 gig, but it was it is with CUDA cores, so that was like high-end 1 gig. So yeah, that's but yeah, mid-range PCs nowadays have anywhere between 512 and 1 gig of GPU. So we're still talking gaming PCs there, but I don't think NVIDIA targets anyone else but gaming PCs. So at least not with their custom software and like their high investment budgets and stuff. So as far as that goes, I think also their new stuff that they just revealed on CES this year, actually, not even a week ago, is like with a big new processor that's going to go
yeah. Because they were showing Unreal 4 on that, right?
Yeah.
The tech demo they had?
Yeah. I think it was twice as powerful as the chip that is currently in the iPhone 5S. Which is pretty damn impressive because that's a powerful chip. But yeah, that's very cool to see. But yeah, it's definitely been a good year for hardware manufacturers on that front. But NVIDIA was completely shut out from the console generation. I think that was all Asus, right? Or wasn't that all the other guys from the other GPU manufacturer?
You mean
AMD?
AMD. Yeah, AMD. So yeah, Nvidia was entirely shut out from.
It was both. They both have AMD
Yeah,
chipsets.
I
yeah.
think
Oh,
so, yeah.
Because that was
I didn't
big
know that.
news when the hardware specs were released. It was big news that Nvidia did not have a single hand in what is probably going to be the next 7 years of of gaming consoles.
Yeah, but like they I mean like you're saying before, they kind of have like they're introducing new stuff for tablet, and I mean for PC in general, like it seems like Nvidia's kind of, I think they're the main company to go to for that stuff, right?
Mm.
Because it seems
Yeah,
like
yeah,
support wise for well, I guess it'll change now, but before like AMD didn't have a lot of support when it came to like PC games, because usually, or just games in general, because usually you would have like NVIDIA would probably pay some money, then the developers would make sure that it runs really well on NVIDIA's chipset,
yeah.
whereas ATI didn't, or AMD and ATI cards didn't exactly do that, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. What actually both surprised me and uh, didn't, I guess, is the hardware specs for the new generation of consoles, because it's sort of on par with maybe the high-end PCs now, like at this day and age. But like
Yeah.
a lot of people were put off by that, because people are starting to get, I don't know, educated in what hardware specs actually make.
Yep.
So I think a large part in that was there was this big discussion going on about, like, right after the launch of the consoles, there was this big discussion going on about, oh, the Xbone can play in so many pixels and the PS4 can play in so many pixels, and everyone was just discussing about that and just comparing the two.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No,
You're
I mean,
you're never gonna notice.
yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I mean, obviously, when they were just coming out or right before, obviously the fanboys and everything, they're all gonna
Yeah.
compare and just like, okay, this has this much more pixel resolution than this, and blah 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 blah. Like this is running at 720, and this is running at 1080, and this is running at 30 frames per second. This is like, of course they were gonna do that. I mean, now you see it, and honestly, like you're saying, it just doesn't matter too much. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some experiences where it will come in handy, like Call of Duty runs at 60 frames per second. Like, will that change for the new systems? Hopefully not.
Yeah, the frame rate to me is what matters the most. The resolution isn't that important.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, this is pretty obvious to most people, but the whole thing about consoles not being as powerful as PCs doesn't really matter, because there's such a wide range of computers, PC configurations, which leads games to not looking as good as they could. While as on a console, like all the consoles are the same. Well,
Yeah.
all the PS4s are the same and all the Xbones are the same.
Yeah.
So that means they can make the games look better because they know exactly how much power they can get from it.
Exactly. Like they optimize it to the exact point where it will look the best it can while still. Oh, that's the goal, anyways. Like, but
Yep.
they know where the bar ends basically. Whereas PC, it can go up and down. Like they have no idea.
Exactly.
But the other side to that is PC gamers they probably already understand a little more about, okay, this is how my PC runs. If like this is my graphic settings that will run best for most of these games, and they have that control. Whereas with the console gamers, they just like put it in and play. Don't have to worry about anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. But I think that kind of leads into something else that's been talked about this year quite a lot, is the new Steam machines.
Yeah.
That's been in the news for the entire year, pretty much.
The entire year, and then especially like this year, I think it's going to be even bigger because now they
Yes.
announced everything, but
At
now
CES,
it's like
yeah.
but now it's like kind of like people are getting it, and people are seeing all the different manufacturers like making their own Steam box.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Like the cost too is so, it varies so much.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
One thing that I've noticed about that is that it surprises me how many of them there are.
Yes.
At this point, I think there are 13 manufacturers that are actually making Steam boxes, including Alienware, which I am excited for.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna look. I know they already released some cases, like case designs. Like
Yeah.
I've always, Alienware to me is always just like, it's just too expensive. Like I'm just
Yes.
paying for the name and for some glowy bits.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've just described Apple.
Well, that too, right? Yeah. I think the one thing I worry about is because it's not necessarily Valve making like the Steam box. This is the Steam box that you get.
Yeah.
There's so many manufacturers out there, and I think if you're not up to date with what's going on with Steambox and what they're doing, it's confusing. Like I remember when Nintendo released the 3DS and then the 2DS, the Wii U. Like they're different things from the same company, but it confused a lot of people. And the thing is, I know this is for the PC gaming market, but at the same time, they're still trying. I think they should at least try and target console gamers too. Yeah. Because this kind of makes it easier for them who aren't really big PC gamers, but like console gamers, to make the switch. Or at least
their argument, I think their argument there is that they have Steam boxes who are going to cost. I know there's not any price. Not any prices have been released as of yet, but there's probably.
I've heard numbers though. There's definitely numbers. Like there's some that range from like $450 to $1,000 to even more. Yeah. But it just depends on the box, right?
Yeah, it depends on the box, it depends on the manufacturer, the parts in it. One thing that I like about the concept of the Steam box is that even though there may be a lot of manufacturers around, this is going to be a good target for PC developers to finally have a sort of minimum system spec to aim for.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I think they can take. I think they can like kind of mine some of that data. Like for those system specs, but it's still like I kind of agree with Victor. It's still so varied. It's
still gonna be incredibly varied, but it's a set of specs that maybe gamers will start to aim their setups for.
Well, basically the lowest spec is the lowest minimum requirement for running SteamOS.
Yes.
Or SteamOS, and the highest is as much power as you can put into the small case.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much as varied as a regular PC.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but like to Mattias' point, like it's still super varied, but now there's at least some initial specs that developers can go off of. Like, there's 13 machines, or at least right now there's 13 machines, and there's different 13 different combinations, configurations, but it kind of starts to create at least some bars that they can aim for. Which is it is good, I guess, for that.
But at the same time, people can build their own Steam machines.
Yes, that's true.
True.
And the other cool thing that I actually liked about Steam Machine is that if you already have a really good gaming PC, which probably a lot of us, or at least a good PC, you can get the lower end Steam box that just streams. It's just a streamer.
Yeah.
I think that's. I don't know if that was announced. They probably announced that or something. But like that box could just be a really small box that you put next to your TV, and you just turn it on and you stream it from your gaming PC. You just don't have to worry about the wires and stuff. That to me, that's what I would use that for.
Yep.
I would get.
And I'm guessing you plug in your controller into the stream machine.
Yeah.
That works, but I mean, as long as you don't have latency, right? Because it's all.
Yeah, because my computer is too far away from my TV.
Exactly. Yeah. So you plug it in. I don't think there's. I mean, it all depends on your gaming PC and I guess the Steam box itself, like just how it transfers video. But it's mostly based off your main PC. So if you have a really crappy PC, then I don't know how well that'll work, but.
So So basically, I think with this discussion, I think we can, for the Steam box, I think the only thing that we can conclude from what we know already is that maybe there will be target specs for developers, maybe there won't, and maybe Valve will just be. I don't know what this will turn into because it seems to me like they're trying to access a market that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Or
doesn't exist yet, maybe. I don't know.
It doesn't exist yet, or maybe they think they're trying to hit one point, but I think it may morph and evolve into a whole other thing. Because I think what they're doing right now, I don't know if that's going to be the end all be all. I think it's just going to evolve into a market that I think they can understand, because right now this is all new to them, and the fact that they're just working on the Steam OS, they're not actually doing the building of the box itself. I think that may cause some trouble. Not necessarily for them, but how well it does, because there's still there's too many options. And yeah, like we were talking about before, we know the options, and we know if I pay more, it's going to be better. But at the same time, I think they really need to focus, or at least to make it a little easier for the broader consumer if they want to get onto that. And I think it's a step in the right direction, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, imagine if you're trying to explain this to someone who doesn't know about games or hardware. Like,
exactly.
Oh, are you gonna get the Steam box? And then he asks you, are you gonna get the Steam box? And then you ask him,
like,
which
one?
What do you mean? Are there more? Is there more than one? Yeah, there's about, I don't know, maybe at that point there'll be 28 or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna be not only hard to explain, but it may get hard to sell because consumers will be confused after a while.
Yeah, I mean,
a Steam machine isn't, like, I might be wrong, but isn't a Steam machine? It's just a PC, right?
Yeah,
with a different OS.
Yeah. Well, as far as that goes, consoles are just PCs as well, but it's just different.
Yeah, but aren't consoles, like, they have custom built hardware, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They
yeah, like the thing is, with consoles, they have custom built hardware, but also the users can't go in and take stuff out and put it in, whereas with the Steam boxes,
avoiding the warranty.
And I mean, they have hardware, like, custom built for software functionalities and stuff.
Yeah. Whereas like Steam boxes, I still think you can customize a bit. You can still upgrade. You can still take things out.
Yeah, as far as I know, they encourage the users to hack their boxes.
Yeah.
Kind of like Ouya.
Yeah. Which I like.
Yep.
Yeah.
It I don't know. It communicates transparency as a company, maybe. Like, you kind of say to your customers, like, we got nothing to hide. Just go in there, have some fun. If it doesn't work, then that's on you. But okay, we don't mind. So yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes for 2014 for those guys, because they're going to be coming out, and I mean, are you guys going to get one right away?
No, I'm going to get the controller. The gamepad I'm going to get.
Yeah, I want to get that controller as well. That was another big thing last year. Like, when the announcement was made for SteamOS and then the controller. That was I had actually hoped that they were going to do, like, their 3 announcements in one day, but they ended up doing it in how much? Like 3 days consecutively, or?
Yeah, three or 4 days. Yeah, or no. Was it each week they really? No, it was each day. Each day they did.
Yeah, each day. So, but yeah, it ended up, like, their final announcement was with the controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I actually think it was every second day or something.
Some weird thing, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or
some weird thing. Every second day. Yeah, that was you're
and
right.
every day I was so disappointed. Like, the first day, it's an OS. So yay.
Yep.
So yeah, that was. But yeah, the controller I am excited for. I've seen it in action on the Kotaku vids and on a lot of YouTube videos.
And I saw a pretty good review of it on Tested, the YouTube channel Tested, with Adam Savage and those guys. Yeah. And I'm not sure what his name is. He's got a red hair.
Will Smith.
Yeah, the big guy. Or the bigger guy of them?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, because there's a couple. Yeah, the bigger mustache dude, right?
Yes, mustache and red hair. Yeah. He said, basically said something in the lines of, when you pick up a game like a gamepad, it takes a while to get used to. Like, you're not good straight away, and it's pretty much the same thing with that controller. Like, it takes a long while to get used to, and from what he had seen of it and played with it, he was not impressed with it yet. So and he was the first guy who said he wasn't impressed, that I've heard about, at least. Like, most people say it works really well.
I think I mean, what were they playing? Did they say what games they tried? Portal. Oh, okay.
That's
Because
a pretty challenging game.
yeah, like I know.
Yeah, but he said when he played one of the puzzles that would take like 5 seconds to complete on a PC with keyboard and mouse, and he had been there for a couple of minutes and he just kept failing.
Well, it'd be interesting to see that same test with a game controller as well. Like put it one to one and just see how long. I mean, obviously, yeah, you have to get used to that controller, but
yes, and most people are used to regular gamepads right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be a tough thing to get used to. What I do like about that controller is the customizability of the keys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's gonna be interesting to see the touchscreen, how that works.
Ooh, yeah. That's good.
And like the whole thing is really really unique. Like first of all, the shape of it, like instead of sort of tilt, like holding it, like having your. It's kind of hard to explain. Like instead of holding it like this, you hold it like this. You're holding it downwards, like it's tilting down.
You kind of squeeze instead of you.
Yeah, and they want your fingertips, like tips of your thumbs, to touch the pad instead of the entire thumb.
Yeah.
That sounds like I'm just like picturing how that would be if you're holding down, like pressing with your thumbs. Like that sounds like that's not good for
it
carpal
feels
tunnel or something,
uncomfortable,
right? Yeah. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and so yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And as I said, the touchpad is kind of interesting to see how you can customize that for games. Like if it's just 4 buttons, or if you can add other kind of stuff like swiping and stuff.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, even the one like the one side is your mouse basically, right? So couldn't you just swipe with that as well?
Well, there are 2 mouse like track areas.
Yeah,
like
you can use them additively as well.
Yeah.
Apparently. So that's.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. I saw someone playing Papers, Please with it, which is an incredibly controller-unfriendly game. And apparently it worked really well. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, like you can, from what I understand, you can actually use both pads. Or maybe that's what you meant. Like you can start moving with the right one and then keep moving with the left one.
Yeah. So just in one smooth movement, you can like.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Like drag it using both thumbs.
Yeah.
So for something like that though, would the developer need to actually put that in so that if they're using the Steam controller,
I don't think so.
It works this way, not really.
No. I mean, like I think it works like out of the box for all games because it would seem kind of like a requirement for it to work on all existing games out there, and I don't think all developers have to remake their inputs for their games.
That would be stupendous if they required that, but it does seem to me like the controller just goes into the input of your PC and then just tells the PC that it's a mouse or something, or something, I don't know, comparable. It puts in the current position of your mouse or anything. I don't know anything about the hardware or the software behind it, but it does sound like there's not going to be any extra development necessary for it to work. But for it to be optimized for the Steam controller, that's another matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now they're saying that, or I was reading something that they're saying that their main goal is to make Dota 2 work on it really well, to get it work like perfectly.
If they can get that working, then you can get anything working.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, that's pretty fast. Like, it's always clicking, always kind of fast-paced. So,
yeah,
it's a good goal. I have no idea how it's gonna work, but
yeah, if that works, and if they can make it so that it works without having to learn for like 24 hours nonstop to be able to use it appropriately, then it's gonna be very good because that is a very tough game on your mouse. Like. It's a mouse killer, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I think like how would like first-person shooters work on that? I feel like I would just use my controller, like a 360 controller or something.
Well, that's a different method of input, right? I mean, that's pretty much why traditionally, like the console games for like the console first-person shooters, if you would put them against the PC first-person shooters, then it would just not be fair because the control input is completely different.
So I'm wondering because with the console shooters and stuff, like it's the aim assist is such a big factor. Like when you have the Steam OS or Steam controller, there's going to be no aim assist because it's just taking over the mouse. Like I wonder how that would feel because I just don't know how. I don't know. Like I need to try it out, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I imagine it will feel very special in the beginning. Yeah, I really want to see it. Really.
Yep, same here.
So as far as games go, what happened this year?
Indie,
stuff.
Indies, yeah.
indie, all the way.
Indie all the way. I think at the start of the year we said with GDC 2013 we said it was going to be the year of the indie game, and I don't think we have been proven wrong.
No.
Yep.
No. Yep.
Because,
I think the thing is, I think that's, I mean, just like not necessarily talking about the past, but for future wise, like I think that's a trend that's going to continue. It seems.
yes.
I hope, anyways, because I haven't really played a lot of them just yet, but there's been such great response from indies this year, or last year, and hopefully this year. But yeah, like you guys were right when you were calling that before. It's like indie 2013 is the year of the indie.
Yeah, and but the thing is, like when you said it's gonna continue, I think we're actually seeing a sort of we might be seeing, I should say, sort of a reboot to the games industry. Like I think the more successful indie developers we're gonna see, the more of those are going to become larger companies.
Yeah.
And maybe in 5 to 10 years, they're gonna be big publishers, and they're gonna be the thing they hated when they started out.
It's just a loop, right? It's a continuous loop. And the thing is, I think that, to me, I actually really want that to happen because it flushes out what we have now, and like AAA and the big games scare the crap out of me, and that's not going to stop until the full circle comes around, and those smaller indie devs become the bigger devs, and new ideas come in, we work smarter, etc. But yeah, like.
Yeah, it's actually it's a way to reboot the industry without actually destroying it first.
Yes. Yeah, like E.T. did in the 80s.
Yeah.
But the good thing is now, like that was because the game was just shit. Whereas these days, games are just getting good. We just understand the medium better. Yeah.
Well, we're seeing a lot of shit AAA games as well.
We are, but the same thing is like those crappy AAA games are still have merits. Like there's still things you can take from it. Like this idea was good.
It to the 80s, yeah.
No,
like in the 80s was just Wild West.
Yeah.
Like anyone could make a game that wanted to make a game, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is now like it's getting to the point where it really is becoming an art to me. I mean, it's always going to be an art to make a game, but like now we're starting to see people who are just really good. Not people, but even just bigger groups that just understand at the core what makes a good game. And now it's like, okay, we know we're still kind of building the rule sets, even though I don't know if there's. It's just I'm excited because I think once those small indie devs get a little bit bigger and bigger, that's when the industry will kind of get that really nice, refreshing, growth that we need.
I think the big thing about what indie games really brings to the picture is that the indie game industry pretty much thrives on innovation. So innovation in that sense has become a sort of cultural phenomenon where indie devs are trying new things for the sake of trying new things, which brings a lot of original ideas to the table.
Yeah, and I mean the whole thing with early access and Kickstarter and stuff it seems like it's working better than the whole like market research thing. Like now, when they have a prototype, they just put it out there. Like, do you want us to keep developing this game?
Yeah.
Well, then just buy it. And people speak with their wallets now. Like, if they don't want it, they don't buy it. And if they don't buy it, they stop developing.
There is a main critique that I keep on hearing though, and especially near the end of the year, is that with like Steam Greenlight and stuff like that, it's great, and the Greenlight and to pay from like alpha stage, like you get what you pay for. Basically, we're still developing. At the same time though, and it's more so I think interface wise, like Steam and then those companies aren't really. People are buying stuff that is broken, that doesn't work.
Yes.
And a lot of the people who necessarily don't understand, or the developer's not saying it right at the get go, like, hey, this game doesn't work. I mean, we appreciate the money. So I think obviously it's growing pains because like we haven't like, and I know Minecraft did it a while ago, but like now it's like kind of mass like early access is kind of the way to go now.
Yep.
But I think we need to start, especially for 2014, like we need to make it clear to the consumers that hey, either this game doesn't work right now, or we need to get to a certain point where then it can go on early access. Like the base foundation has to work, or something, because I know that it's a big complaint.
Yeah, I noticed that with, and I know this will change, but I was really excited about Cube World. And Cube World, yeah, it's pretty much like Cube.Heroes meets Minecraft. You walk around as an RPG. You're a cube in a cube. You're a cube man in a cube world, and you kill cube stuff and stuff like that. And it's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome. But the thing is, like, yeah, and I think after I bought it, there's been one update, and that was like netcode thing, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why I stopped playing it was because there wasn't any content, and there hasn't been any new content since I bought it, and I was pretty disappointed. It's still a good game, but I felt kind of cheated.
Yes.
So the
big thing about the big thing there is that the communication between developers and consumers is not good yet, where the consumers they're spending money on, as you said, Jason, they're spending money on an unfinished product, and I think there's not enough of a distinction there, where the people who are selling the product are not communicating to the consumers enough that what they're buying is not only a non-finished product, but
I think on Steam, they actually say that in the actual platform, like sales platform, Steam. I think
that's true.
I think they say you're buying an unfinished product. Please keep this in mind.
Yes.
But
you may say that is enough, but
that's not enough. It's not enough. The other thing too is there's a couple things like it's a learning thing for developers, but at the same time developers can use that to their advantage and be like, hey, we're on greenlight, we got in, here's early access. We won't tell you that the game is utterly broken and we have no idea how to fix it, or we're not going to fix it. We'll just say, hey, we got on the greenlight, buy this game because the concept's really cool, we have some cool screenshots. And then like some developers can really take advantage of that, where other developers, like I see some of the videos you guys have been doing for Rust, and I remember seeing initially what Rust looked like, and it seems like it's been getting a pretty good upgrade and it seems to be updating fairly well, right?
Yeah.
Like it seems like they're doing it well.
Yeah, they're doing it really well. But I think the thing with early access and greenlight and allowing people to buy into like a game that is still under development and is still in alpha stage pretty much, I think key with that is communication and proper transparency, which Rust does incredibly well. They even have a checklist of things that they are working on that you can vote on, like we want this to take priority.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's really well done.
And Billy in the comments, Billy just mentioned a very good. And Jason, you mentioned a very good example of one of those games. It's Overgrowth. Overgrowth looks awesome. The developers are very transparent with the whole thing, but I mean, it's been in alpha for 2-3 years.
Yeah, years. Yeah. And I think the thing is, like with that though, I think it's just the developers are just like, or the main dude, it's just he's having fun, right? Like. Yeah. I can't fault it for that, because he keeps on doing updates and stuff, and it's just all these systems that he's just messing around with, and I would never buy the game because I really don't have an interest in it, but the videos and just how he goes about explaining what's happening and it's cool. Like that part I really enjoy.
Yeah, and that brings development to the people pretty much.
Which is great.
That is incredible, because I've seen some update videos on a game that I've recently discovered. It's a sci-fi space exploration spaceship game.
Do you know the name of it?
I have completely forgotten, but I did show Wiktor. It was like with incredibly impressive spaceships. I will post it in the description if I find it.
Wait, are you talking about No Man's Sky?
No, not No Man's Sky, but like the other thing. It was like a sci-fi game.
Do you build stuff in space and you can like crunch stuff like it's a Minecraft space game?
No, that's Space Engineers. Yeah, it was like completely different. A game that did not have any exposure at all. I just randomly discovered it with a beautiful UI. It had like a UI that is node-based, which was
that
one. Incredibly impressive. Like he built his entire game and all of the UI in it around this node-based interface. So I'm actually going to make an effort to find that during the episode because I really want to feature.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, and I just thought I'd mention real quickly for our viewers that we recently started making Let's Plays as well, and we try in the Let's Plays to actually bring up some of the actual stuff relevant to game development. So rather than just playing and screaming and shouting and having fun, we're actually trying to we're trying to dissect the game a bit and talk about the stuff that we like and how well made it is or how poorly made it is.
They're good. Like the Rust videos, I really I've watched all. I think you have 3 of them now, and I'm working away and I'm just watching it while I work away. I definitely I think I would like to at least join some of you guys when you do that.
Definitely
for this year for sure.
Yeah. It's we really try to make sure that to highlight the things that we think are important to understand.
Yep.
It'd be cool if just an idea out there, but it'd be cool if maybe I don't know if you could do it for Rust since the guy is kind of well known, but for some Gary is the guy that did Gary's mod, right?
Is that?
Yeah. So,
what?
Rust, Rust is the guy, or Rust is the game that the Gary's mod guy made.
How did we miss that? What's that? And you dropped a bomb there, okay?
Yeah. I was gonna say hopefully I'm right actually. I could be wrong. Oh god. But I was gonna say it'd be cool if you did some of those videos to actually get some the actual developers who made the game.
Yes.
For some, I know obviously some are just gonna be really busy, but for some that'd be kind of cool.
That, yeah, definitely.
We need to up our subscriber count though. So everyone watching, please subscribe.
Yeah.
So that we can do more Let's Plays. Yes.
The one other thing that you brought up before that actually I think is a great 2013 trend that I would love to see, and I think it is going to continue, is how developers are now opening up more to the consumer side or just the fan side with all their development videos and especially Double Fine.
Yeah, but we have the YouTube fiasco right now though.
Yes.
The whole copyright thing.
Another thing that happened in 2013.
Yeah.
Content ID. Yay.
Are those videos the developer videos getting nailed because of that? I mean, it's their own content.
You mean like that? No, it's mainly Let's Players.
So my thing was I'm happy that developers are kind of showing the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The Let's Play stuff's awesome, and the big YouTube, we can definitely talk about that too. But I'm more my thing was just I'm happy that developers are now starting to be more transparent and actually open up with some really fantastic videos about behind the scenes making up, and Double Fine for me shoots right up there because they're doing it for Broken Age. Is Broken Age, right? Broken Age.
Yep.
And they're doing it for Massive Chalice as well. I don't know if you guys catch any of those videos, but
I think I have even supported that game.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Same here. And the thing is I want that to be a trend, and I want it to keep on continuing because I think the more that, as we've said before in other episodes, the more we can educate the main consumers, or at least some people, I think it'll create more appreciation for the industry and it's how kind of what we do and how hard games are to make. Even the most simplest games are usually the hardest to make. I want to see that trend, just developers opening up, making some really great content in the process, video-wise, and just really showing you, okay, this is how we do games. It's not easy. It's not simple. And because you always see the behind the scenes for movies. That's not a new thing. It's now I want games, the industry to start doing that more.
Yep.
Yeah. So I found the game, by the way.
Oh, nice.
It's called Limit Theory. I've
never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Limit Theory.
Unfortunately, I cannot paste any links in the chat, but I will paste the link in the description for.
I can. Yeah, I'll do it. Here you go.
I'll do that right away.
Oh,
actually.
You can't. Oh.
Limit Theory. Bam. There you go. Save. So yeah, if you look in the description for the video right now, you can see Limit Theory. It's an incredibly impressive space exploration game with a very impressive UI that is entirely node-based. So he built his entire game around the node-based system, and it looks really good. You can everything is actually a part of the same UI where you have your ship and it has like these different parts, and you can zoom in on them. But if you zoom out on them enough, like you can start by you can be viewing your ship and its parts, and you can zoom out all the way to the edge of the galaxy.
Oh, jeez.
And you will have the same map if you just start in the galaxy, and then you can zoom in all the way to your ship parts.
So that's cool. It looks nice.
Everything in the game world is a node in the UI, and that is incredibly impressive.
Interesting. Yep. That's cool. That's actually a really smart way of working.
Yeah, and it's incredibly, like, it's a very clear UI. He's also very in-depth about how he made it in his devlogs. He already made 11
and they're very
devlogs
entertaining. He's a fun guy.
Yes. And he also, like, he goes in depth on, today I did the shader system, or today I worked a bit on particles, or I made sure that if you move, you actually have a sense of movement. Like, he actually implemented a system where if you move around in space, there are some cloud particles and some like glowy particles that flow around the edges of your screen, so you have a sense of movement, which you wouldn't have otherwise. You're moving around in such a big space, and there's really nothing to reference your movement to. So he actually made sure that everything feels right for space, and it looks incredibly impressive. Also, like I think it uses. I have no idea which engine he's using, but the shaders look like the material definition is really well done, and like it has dynamic lighting. So if you fire your cannons and your projectile passes another ship, then
it just like lights it up.
Yeah, it lights it up.
So that's always nice.
Yeah, it's sci-fi seems to be on the rise again.
Not only sci-fi, but just like ship combat and just outer space. Like there's been so many games that have been announced, especially this year.
Yeah.
Just all like it's kind of nice. Yeah. Well, and like obviously Star Citizen being the big one, but there's been like tons of just like space combat like shooters announced, space exploration announced. Like it's cool. I mean, it's good to see that kind of come back.
Yeah. And not only that, we're seeing a lot of survival crafting building games,
which is good.
Which is a direct result of Minecraft, but I do love that.
Yeah.
Like every single one of those games that I find, I just buy it.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
It's always enjoyable. I've never regretted the purchase. So.
I mean, as long as the systems are in place, like the gamer can just make whatever story they want. It's like it's all them.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You can craft your own story, and there are very little stories out there that are going to be as good to you as your own.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the big thing. Like, you can do your own stuff and just do whatever you want all day, and you have the freedom to fail, which is something that other games do not allow, because you progress in the storyline and you can't fail, because that would be a punishment system that would be too harsh. But you can do that on your own story because you failed because of yourself, because of your own actions. And the only thing the game developer has to do is just put in the systems that will allow you to fail. So that's good. That's an interesting way to approach game development, because basically you're just making a bunch of systems and letting the
let the player create like the story content, like, because it's all their own stories, and then that goes hand in hand with the streaming services and everything. Like, watching people do this, like I said, like I work on stuff and I have either Daisy videos up or your guys' videos up of just about watching you guys just discover the world and then trying to survive, and then it's really entertaining. It's great to watch.
Yeah, we watch a lot of Yogscast, and they really they're so creative in crafting their own stories, and they even do that. Like they do that in pretty much every single one of their videos. Like even in SimCity.
Yeah, well, especially in the when Lewis, Simon, Shin, and Sips collab, they always have a preset story, and that story kind of evolves, and they all have their own characters, and it's just really interesting to see. Like they take the mechanics of the game and just work with it and try and make an interesting story. I think that's a really very, very good point you have there, Jason.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's also cool to see like they've Yogscast and other Let's Players really have, I don't know, they've given birth to an entirely different genre of making media around another form of media.
Yep.
And I think that may give birth to different sets of games where you maybe are going to have games that have made a design with Let's Plays in mind.
Yes, I would very much love to see that because it's kind of embarrassing, but I think I watch more Let's Plays than I play games.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Me too.
That's great. It's a great. I mean, if you enjoy it, it's a great form of entertainment, and it still gives you the idea, like it still gives you a great understanding of what the game is, but then it injects personality into it. Like if you like you're saying, like you guys watch Yogscast and there's like PewDiePie. I mean, there's tons of people out there, but if you really enjoy the person's personality, and then you just follow them, you'll watch all their shows, you'll get introduced to new games, developers.
And a lot of the games I buy that I watch on Let's Plays.
And usually, like, I haven't seen any developer being like, why have you, like, the smaller indie devs, like, everyone enjoys it. Like, developers are like, here, like, just make sure you give us a link so we can watch it, we can promote it as well. But, like, play our games and enjoy it, and from there we'll get a following for it. Like, it's nice. It's kind of free advertising in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's free advertising.
It's like I've noticed, like there are some smaller channels. Like there's one I'm watching, VG Lauren, and it's a pretty small channel, but she gets a lot of free games and stuff to like just to play them, and so it seems like developers actually do realize the value of Let's Plays and promotions like that. Like even the smallest channel.
Yeah, that's one thing that Content ID I think overshot is the developers didn't really want this to happen.
No.
So I think a large part of what confuses a lot of people around that whole situation with Content ID is just like the developers don't want it, the Let's Players certainly don't want it, but it seems like I heard an analysis about the whole situation for like what Content ID, why it's actually here from Captain Sparkles, which is a very big YouTube channel apparently. And he made an analysis that basically concluded that the reason Content ID is here because of corporate pressure.
Yep.
Like, yes.
Yeah, it seems to be like the acceptable reason because there is no reason to do it otherwise. Like people are losing money, and Google is as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's on the side of, like you're saying, like, not a lot of developers, like game developers, are really being like, you can't stream this content. But I find that it's a lot of movie industry, more so music industry,
especially music.
Yeah,
especially music. Yeah.
And the thing is, that industry, music industry, they're going through their own change as well. Like
they're living in their own world as well. Like everything about that industry is so outdated.
It's weird because things like, they have like it's the same stuff that the games industry is going through. Like they have their indie side of they have big bands, but the big bands produce their own stuff. They kickstart their own stuff. Like, and then you have the big massive produced stuff that it's not doing as well as it used to, right?
No, yeah, but the thing with the music industry is that they're still sitting on systems that have been put in place across hundreds of years, pretty much, because I mean, music has been around forever.
Well,
more so like the big
recent,
the big recording industry. That's the
big
main
recording
thing.
Industry is
that's the one that's being hit.
Much more recent, but it's still older than the video game industry. Seems like. So. I think they're sitting on systems that have been put in place before. Like, I think especially one of the biggest things to ever impact these kinds of industries is the internet, because that's basically when all of the outdated rules stopped working, and nobody updated them to follow this new kind of approach towards being more open toward the public and making more money that way.
Yeah.
You can actually make a lot more money by being transparent than you can ever earn by being by looking like an obsessive company that only wants to make money.
Yeah, I mean, it's protecting what they own when they don't really necessarily own I don't know. It's gross.
Yeah, that's the whole discussion about ownership right there. I had a discussion about this the other day. Like, right now you don't really have ownership. When you buy something online, you have the permission to use it.
The right to use it, but not to produce, like to yeah.
Which implies a right for the reseller to recall that right at any time.
Mm-hmm.
That implies that right. There are probably regulations about that, but still, I mean, it's a tricky situation that I don't think we can conclude anything on.
No. No, I just make cubes all day. I don't understand any of that stuff. It's confusing.
We just make digital drawings.
And ones and zeros.
Yeah, ones and zeros. Exactly. So yeah, I think one thing that we haven't touched on here that did happen in 2013 that did put up a lot of dust is SimCity.
Was that in 2013 or wasn't that 2012?
No, that was this year.
What we can actually maybe go above that and say, because I heard this on another podcast, like another big podcast, Giant Bomb. They did this, and it wasn't just the SimCity thing. It was they brought in the category and said just the apologies and the mess ups of 2013, and like there's so many developers. Well, not so many. There's a couple big developers that like have sent out letters of apology.
Mm-hmm.
And EA being one of the big ones, they sent it out for SimCity a couple times, for Battlefield. There's something else, and then there's a couple other big developers who did the same thing when it's just like we're sorry we released. Oh yeah, and EA again for NBA Elite.
Yeah.
Like it's the year of the apology is what they called it.
Sounds to me like EA is apologizing a lot of times.
They are. I mean, and this thing, and the thing is, what's really gross about that is will they continue to make? Will they continue just using that? Like, we'll put out these games and then apologize afterwards.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like my 4-year-old son is like, he punches me and he says he's sorry. He punches me again and he says he's sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's like, stop doing stupid shit and you don't have to apologize.
Exactly. Learn from that, and then next time you won't hit me. So thank you. Yeah. So the SimCity thing was the starting point, really, but it definitely like. Just the more so just the whole like the year of the apology thing, the year of kind of making really weird and big mistakes for these big games, when really we're at an age now where like the games industry and games in general, we're at a certain level where people just won't really stand for it anymore.
And one thing, speaking of apologies, wasn't really an apology as far as I know, but it was regarding Final Fantasy XIV, which flopped really, really, really hard. And for those of you who don't know, Final Fantasy XIV is an MMORPG. And as I said, it flopped really hard, and it ended up with the developers actually remaking the game, resulting in Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.
Yep. But on the bright end though, is they redid it really. I think it did really well after, right?
It turned out really, really well, and that's something I really want to see. Like, if a game fails, like instead of apologizing, well, maybe you can apologize as well, but like go back to the drawing board and make the game that you promised or that the user want. Yeah.
The big problem with that though is, well, first of all, money, and resources. That's kind of the fact that they did that.
A lot of the time they have the engine, they have the framework, they have the assets.
Yeah, but for those bigger games though, they're kind of signed off, right? Like when that game is done and that's on the shelves, or in this case when it's released online, like they usually we have that mentality where we're done. We release a couple updates, but we're done.
Yeah, but that's the admirable thing about the Final Fantasy XIV thing.
They actually did it.
Yeah, they did it, and I mean, like,
but it cost them.
City.
It cost them so Square. I think if they wouldn't have done that, I think Square would have been. I mean, they're not really doing great, but they would have been doing bad. They would have been in a really bad position if they didn't take the time. And I'm happy they did, because they made a good game. But I don't know if. I would rather see it where if the game is released, make it solid the first time. Like we're at a point now where there really is no. excuses per se. Obviously, we don't know how the development cycle was like. We don't know if the managers just made really shitty decisions or something happened, blah, 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 blah. But I would really like to just stop seeing that happen in general, because it's just it's
yeah, well, bad decisions are always going to be made, but like remaking a game based on consumer feedback, I think is an investment. Like, it costs a lot of money, but I think it's an investment in the future, because the consumers see that, okay, this developer cares about us. He wants us to have the thing we paid for.
The thing is with that though, and I agree with you with that. Like I would like to see that developers use that and actually
it would be a massive
make the game better. But the other thing is, you need to have the systems in place, and more so just the because before, like for example, with the old consoles, like if you released a game, updating it costs money all the time. Each update would cost like silly amounts of money, and it wasn't exactly the smartest thing to do. Whereas with PC, at least, you can update as much as you want. There's no cost or anything, I don't think, and if there is, it's not that much. So we need the systems in place from not just like the developer side, but the manufacturer side and stuff like that, where we can just kind of continuously release updates, and we're not kind of penalized for it in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The thing with releasing constant updates is that runs the risk of creating a mentality where you ship your product and hope that nobody notices.
But we're already in that though.
Yeah,
like developers are already.
Yeah, I really don't like that. It's like developing a game with a planned first day patch, like announced weeks before the game is released. Like, so this game is released and you're not gonna have this, but once you install the game, you're gonna get a patch.
Like a big patch too.
Yeah. The thing there is that release dates are incredibly misleading. Because I think we discussed this in one of the earlier episodes. I think we even discussed it in the very first episode, where the game goes gold months before the release date, and that's the product or the build that you end up at that point is the one that is going to get shipped regardless of whether it's done or not. In a lot of ways. So, and that's when you get like delays, where I like seeing delays on games actually, because
same here.
If I see, like, recently The Division was delayed, which I liked because I'm really hoping. Yeah, it was.
I only read the leaked information, like the inside leak.
It was definitely delayed.
They released. They said it was delayed. Yeah.
But the thing with what they actually said, and this is something that I really like about Ubisoft, is they're very open about what stage they're in. Is they say the game worked, but it didn't work well enough yet. Like, the engine was in place, the systems were working, but the game was not good enough.
I think you're talking about the leak right now. The unofficial leak, because I read there was a leak which said just what you just said, and I think it was Kotaku, and they said they tried to contact Ubisoft regarding this, but they had no comment.
That was the unofficial leak, and Ubisoft refused to comment on that. But they definitely delayed.
Okay.
At one point.
Interesting.
But what I do like about that is that you can really see, like, developers from that scale are starting to have a mentality where they say, okay, we're going to have a release date, but please be aware that this is subject to change, and we're going to ship the game when it's done and not a day before.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see when companies stopped being transparent. Like, were they ever transparent? I'm thinking back to the 90s, like when I was reading the newspapers or magazines.
I don't think
No.
so. I think the thing with transparency is that you have transparency now because there is so much media going on. Yeah, there's the internet.
It's the internet.
Like,
I mean, that's
before that, like the only source of information was the magazines, which came out once a month.
Yeah,
or
if
you were old enough and had enough money to actually go to GDC, E3, and stuff like that, and actually talk to developers.
Yeah, and not only that, like, even if you have a magazine that says, hey, this company is doing well, or whatever.
Yeah, it's just what the companies want you to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also,
whereas now,
a big part of transparency is like Twitter feeds and Facebook, like things that update in real time. and that are subject to change in real time. This is something that you just can't replicate with a paper medium. And that's the big thing about the internet. And
that was like 15 years ago, man. That was the Stone Ages. It's crazy. What did you do back then? Like, did you go out
played outside, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, back when there was sunlight, you mean?
I can't even remember.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's so tragical.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy. What's happened to us?
We've become glued to our machines and the internet.
Yeah. I move away from my PC and go to the bathroom, and I bring my phone with me.
No. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
Like, there are games dedicated to be played on, like.
I think most mobile games that do well are based on those 5-minute play sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like take time the average shit and build a game that
It's just how do you gather statistics like that? It's like, okay, sir, just go on the street. Hey, sir, how long does it take you for you to go to the bathroom? It's like, why are you asking me that question? I feel slightly violated.
Market research. That's what I'm doing.
Market research. This is for a new game. What kind of game are you making?
Poop game.
That's
what it's called. That's the title. The title is actually just called Poop Game.
Wow.
You should make a game Poop Game. I mean, I'm pretty sure you would make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like toilet break game.
Toilet break game.
There's actually a game. There's actually a game like that. I think it actually the new Simpsons game was made to be played on a toilet.
Oh, maybe. Well, it did so well, so.
Yeah. So I guess the theory holds up then. So yeah.
So we've been going on for over an hour now.
Yeah. Over an hour. Yeah. It's been pretty good, I would say.
Yeah. Very good.
Touched on most subjects, I hope.
Yep.
So if anyone still has any questions, now is the time to ask, because we will be going offline in a couple minutes.
Yeah, and it's about 30-second to 60-second delay on the chat or the stream, so we have to do a bit of talking before we get to respond to that. So
so here's a mustache.
Hooray!
Yay! Oh, to kind of go to a completely different subject, for CES 2014 was actually pretty impressive. There was a bendable displays is something new apparently.
Well, it's been on the internet for about 2 years.
It's been there, yeah. But now are they mass producing it?
Yes.
Yes.
The first phone with a like a curved display is currently being was being demonstrated at CES by Samsung.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that was kind of impressive. It's the first of its kind. It's not flexible, so you can't flex it yourself, but it is a curved display, which is impressive in and of itself.
Yeah. I don't see why.
Apparently, it fits a lot better in your hand, which I can really understand. Like,
I mean, for the last 18 years of my life, I've had a flat phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, man, I sound like an old man now.
Yeah.
I don't like change.
Yeah.
Change is bad. No, but I mean, yeah. I guess maybe. We have a cake now. And I mean, like having a TV that is curved is like, okay, so it's a cool TV, good picture, but it limits the field of view or point of view, whatever.
I don't know. I can see the use in having a curved PC monitor, for example, because
like a monitor, because you're one person in front of it, but like usually here we're at least 2 people watching TV.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you have to sit in the middle, because if you're like off to the side in the sofa, you're like half the screen is missing or covered by the edge.
So basically, you just arrange people from like tall to small, like just in a line in front of the TV. And watch over each other.
Right, so it seems we don't have any questions in the chat, so I think it's about time we sign off. And to recap, regarding the Gamedev Cast and what we're doing and stuff, we just started the Let's Play, as I said before, where we focus on actually discussing the development of the game, like the technology inside the game and so on, like more from a game developer perspective. And
we actually have one more question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So Dylan asks us, could you guys summarize real quick your plans for a new website? Yes, we can.
Yep.
So basically, I don't know if you've seen the new website. Well, we have a bunch of new features. We now have a dedicated page for all of our podcast episodes, where you can go and listen to all of our previous episodes, right down to the very first one. We also have a new article thing that we have going on, where we want to encourage developers to come to us and start their devlogs on our site. So we want to encourage developers to come to us and move their devlogs to us, feature their own game instead of having us
or just mirror their blogs.
Or just mirror their blogs, where they can then include the links to their own official blogs. We will also be cross-posting from other sites news items that we think are interesting, and we will be posting interesting game offers. For example, GMG has regular sales going on that are really ridiculously cheap on very cool games.
GMG means Green Man Gaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
.com.
So we will be posting regular offers from them as well, and as time goes further on, we will make sure that we have more varied content for you, and we will make sure that we can deliver. We keep delivering quality content. We will also be making Let's Plays with the podcast crew, so that's another thing that we have going on.
I think those, like, even like just with the Let's Plays, it seems like whenever you do Let's Plays for any website, it tends to get a lot of popularity. Like I think and by you guys talking about more of like from a developer's perspective, I think that's a cool way of doing it, because I don't think there's a lot of developers doing Let's Plays.
No, and that's pretty much our pitch, I would say.
Yeah. So I mean, if you have any suggestions for the games you want to see us dissect and play, just leave a comment in the comment section below.
Yep. We will definitely be trying a lot of different games.
Me and Mattias are playing a lot of games together, and that's pretty much what spawned the whole idea. Like, we're playing a lot of games together. Why not record them and talk about the games and just upload them to YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, not even that. Like, we were already playing them and talking about them, so the only thing
exactly
was record.
Just press record and upload.
Yeah.
That's and I'll definitely I definitely want to try and get on that Rust, or if you play like other games like that, I'll get on that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If we will make sure to keep communicating about our plans in the future, and we hope that you have enjoyed our live stream for this 2013 recap.
Yes.
If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, and please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more and to keep up to date.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Yes.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.